I gotta tell you something else. You may not be happy with. We're launching a gun buyback on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're not adding anything to it. Okay?
You don't need to add anything, you already took everything.
What is that?
You already taken everything. And I thought it was voluntary.
It is voluntary.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So if it's a voluntary buyback,
Yeah.
some people call it confiscation.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of options. My option is to go have it deactivated at my cost.
You'll get compensation for that.
Okay, so I'll get compensation for deactivation. So I basically have a firearm that would never be able to be used again. So basically a ornament.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 is to turn it into the federal government.
Yeah.
Or whatever agency.
Yeah, who's collecting? It could be a collection agency as well. Right?
Yeah. Right. For what compensation? So what's written in, so let's say one of my ARs, they're going to give me, I don't recall the value, I think it's around $1,200.
Yeah.
Somewhere about that. But I have receipts where I purchased it at a far greater cost. And have other receipts for, maybe I've changed the bolt carrier group or a trigger and things like this. There's no compensation for that.
No, not for that.
We're just saying, this is the blanket, what you're getting.
It's not a flat fee though, it's not a flat compensation, right? It's not like it's $400, it's every model.
They make a model has a dollar value.
Yes,
exactly. So like my SIG and 400, I think it's around $1,200.
Yeah.
But I paid like $2,400 for it, or $2,200, let's say. So I'm still losing money.
Probably, right? The idea is that, look, they're already prohibited, right? They're already...
Well, they're not. They've never... So by the OIC in 2000,
yes,
right? Within the stroke of a pen, at the time, the Prime Minister Trudeau says these are weapons of war. There's no use for them within Canadian society.
right.
This all came after the mass shooting in Nova Scotia, who was an illegal firearms person, correct?
Had mental health issues.
But he had illegal firearms. He was able to purchase a retired police vehicle, correct? Right?
Yeah.
He made it. Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah, listen, don't ask me to explain the logic to you on this, okay? Like, it's...
But we're not the problem here.
I realize that.
So how many gangbangers, right, are running around at TPS, and every police force in Canada is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, in prosecuting people, investigating people that are on the legal side.
I get it.
If I had a piece of paper going to my gun range, I could be 5 years in prison for a piece of paper. These guys, I hate to say it with your catch and release policies, these guys are caught, right? Might spend a couple of days in jail, get a bail hearing, and out they go. But you're taking stuff away from people that aren't the problem.
Listen, it's voluntary. Okay, that's the only thing.
It's not voluntary. So what's the third option? So I deactivate, I turn them in. What's the third option?
Third option is you don't do either.
And? What's that mean?
Then it's up to the local police.
So then what's that mean to become? What's that? A criminal?
If police enforce it, yes.
Well, of course the police are going to enforce it. Because you're going to mandate.
Well, it's already in the criminal, it's there.
It's already written in the criminal code. So you're saying is if I don't deactivate or return them at a loss, I'm going to be a criminal.
In your case, whatever your losses, you tell me, I'll personally...
It's not the point.
No, it's not the point. I get it.
I appreciate that, but it's not the point. The point is, since 2000, my firearms, I have a huge safe here. My firearms are locked up.
Right.
Okay? I reload. I make my own ammo.
What do you use it for? Tell me what you use.
I go to the range and shoot.
Okay.
That's it. Right? My other firearms I hunt. right? I have my pal. Obviously, you don't.
Yes.
I have my pal as well.
Yeah.
Right? I have to say, whoever that conservative guy was when you're in the house and you were first in the role, you didn't look at it.
That was bad. I know that. I know. But it's 3 weeks on the job, man. I've never.
What do you know about the system now? If you don't mind me asking.
I know a lot more. Right? I'm not an expert on this. Right? I'm not an expert.
So I understand when you let the genie out of the bottle.
Yeah.
It's very hard to put that cap back on to the genie.
I get it. Yeah.
Right? And nobody wants. The government definitely doesn't want people to say, hey, we're turning things back, or the special interest group saying, hey, you're going back. No, it doesn't matter what happens in the world. The van incident on Yonge Street, right? We're not banning white vans or banning people renting vehicles.
Yeah.
Impaired drivers, we're not, okay, we'll take your vehicle off the road for a certain day, we'll suspend you for a year, and you'll pay a fine.
Right.
I just don't understand that legal firearms owners are a very, very small problem. And I will say this, are there legal firearms owners out there that have committed acts of domestic violence or suicide? Absolutely, it happens. And it happens, doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. Whether it's a van, whether it's a firearm, whether it's a knife. People with mental health issues will do things.
Yeah.
But you're going to roll out this confiscation, I'm going to call it, on Tuesday, like you said. And what's the timeline?
It's a pilot in where is it? Kibran, right?
Okay.
And then
that police force said yes to it.
Yeah.
But the OPP said no.
Yeah.
Toronto police said no.
Toronto police hasn't said anything yet.
Okay. I just know somebody in Toronto.
Yeah.
So they're on the fence.
Yeah.
But anyways, even if the Chiefs of Police Association is saying this is not going to have a meaningful impact, probably less than 0.5% of legal people,
right.
That probably shouldn't happen. Right? I agree with that 100%. I think, so I have a firearms license, Hunter does, Lisa does not. Right? She has no combination of the safe, she doesn't have access to anything. I think if the government would have mandated safe storage laws, like way above and beyond what we have. Like I can have a firearm, as long as it's not loaded, doesn't need a trigger lock, just leaning up against my wall, right? Provided it's non-restricted, right? There's no ammunition, readily accessible. I think if you would mandate it within whatever time frame that you must have a certified safe, have to meet certain standards for you to have any restricted firearm, right? That way you eliminate someone breaking into my house, right, and saying, oh, it's just sitting here in a case, it's locked,
let me take it.
But I can walk out the door with the case. If you mandated that, it would be a huge cost to a lot of us. I mean, I think a proper firearm safe is not cheap. I think mine's like $7,500. I think if they would have gone that way and saying to eliminate the potential of domestic violence issues of somebody having access to or possible break-in enters and those criminals now taking your legal firearm and using it for illegal purposes. I think you would have had the firearms community on board with that. Ultimately, what the government's done in the last 5 years is make criminals out of the most vetted. I have a criminal background check on me every single day. If I get into an argument with Lisa, my firearms are gone. If I forget a piece of paper going to my range and I were to get stopped, right? I go to prison. I have to leave my house, put myself in my truck, and I have to drive right from here, right to the range. I can't stop for gas. That's what I'm driving the Audi. So like I can't even deviate don't stop for lunch, because the laws state I have to go from here to there, back. So, we're not the problem. So, as the Minister of Public Safety, what do you think may have done better? I mean, it's being rolled out anyway.
Look, I'll tell you, if I were to redo this from the beginning, like I'm picking up where it was left off, right? And
but you have the power to roll back.
But this is the mandate I was given by Carney to complete this.
Because you guys look like fools rolling, like stepping back.
And not revisit this.
Sure.
That's my objective, right? Just to put an end to this and move on with other additional criminal justice tools, including on bail, including on increasing penalties for people who have illegal and unlicensed firearms. So a range of things that we're already going to be doing. But
this is not new. This has been happening for over a decade.
I'll tell you, going forward, it'll be a different approach. Okay, this is completing something that was started 5 years ago. That frankly.
But as the minister, you could sit down with Mark and say, "Listen, there's something we need to address these core issues."
We've had all these conversations. Like I've had for the last 4 months. It's been like constant discussions on this to see what's next, right? And the conclusion is, let's finish this because we committed to it in the campaign.
But campaign promises have always been broken in the past.
I know.
So why must you go through on this one?
Look.
Just say it.
Sean, the Quebec,
you know what's wrong.
Quebec, for example, is in a very different place in Ontario, right?
We're talking about Canada. It's federal. It's not.
I get it. Quebec is in a different place than other parts of Canada, right? And this is something that is very much a big deal for many of the Quebec electorate that voted for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's one of the major things. I think it's. I'm sure you've seen these articles where people have said, this is one of the things we should not execute, like as a change from Trudeau's policies. But we've made the decision to go ahead.
Yeah, something. You have a minority government right now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of moving pieces on the chessboard. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're worried about the longest undefended border, between Canada and the United States, and we know where the firearms are coming from.
Yeah.
And more than 95% are traced back to our
U.S. Absolutely, 100%. Right? 100%. Like I brought it up to Secretary Nome. I met her a week and a half ago in London, right? And I said, and she was actually surprised because she didn't know.
Right. Evil people are going to do evil things.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that you or I or anyone else can do to prevent that, because you can't fix what you don't know.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. But
listen,
ultimately,
the commitment I can make to you, Sean, is that going forward, we'll have much better.
No, you're going to turn me into a criminal here, because I'm not going to turn mine in. I'm telling you right now. I refuse to.
Yeah. And that's fine. Look, I'm not going to argue with you on that.
No, you just send the police to my house.
I'm not going to send the police to you.
Well, no, but the police will come to my house at some point, because what's registered, they know who I am.
Yeah.
They know where I live. They know where they are. They're locked up in my safe.
Yeah.
I'm going to refuse to hand them in.
Right.
They're going to come in, rip open my safe, right? Take those firearms, put me in handcuffs.
I doubt very much it's going to go that far like this.
Absolutely, it's going to, Gary.
Yeah.
Because when you've given a mandate as the minister that these firearms are no longer allowed to be in these people's possession.
Yeah.
And you have...
Okay, I will come and bail you out if that happens.
You'll come bail me out?
I will. You call me.
I don't want to be bailed out, Gary, but now I have a criminal record. Now I have a criminal record. Are you going to pardon me?
I don't have the power to do that, but
yeah, I'm going to have a criminal record. Which means I'm going to lose my job.
Sean, it's not going to go that far. Let's be frank about it.
Well,
right?
I don't know here.
I just don't think municipal police services have the resources to do this.
Well,
right? I think
how many billions of dollars in debt are we? right? You're just going to keep adding to the debt. How much do you guys think this is going to cost? Realistically.
The budget for this was $742 million.
742, $742 billion.
That was the budget.
That's their budget.
Yeah.
So let's double it. Let's be honest.
No, we won't go that far. We're capping it. That's it. We're not.
Oh, so let's say, so you take the farms you said, was it New Brunswick?
Yeah.
You start with them.
Nova Scotia.
Sorry, Nova Scotia. You start with them at whatever the cost that is.
Yeah.
And you work across the country, however way you want to roll the program. I mean, Alberta, Danielle, she's really telling you to go F yourself.
Yeah.
At what point you say, okay, at $750 million, do you say, okay, we ran out of money, so we'll take yours, but you guys can still take yours because we ran out of money?
It's a capped buyback, right? It's voluntary.
It's not voluntary.
It's voluntary. Okay?
How is it voluntary? I do not want to give it to you.
Okay, then that's your prerogative, right?
But the consequence, if you were not following your directive, I have to go to jail.
If you want money back,
I don't want money back. I want what I legally can own. I've been able to use for years. I have no issues with the regulations surrounding them.
Yeah.
So I have so let's look at my AR.
Yeah.
It's a .223 caliber semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah.
Okay. I cannot use it for hunting. I can only use it after range.
Let's go up. Yeah, I gotta get those.
Yeah. But I also have a .223 bolt action rifle that I can use for hunting.
Okay.
Exact same round, same velocity. The only thing different is the action.
Yeah.
Right? I'm limited to a 5-round magazine. I'm limited to a 5-round magazine in my bullpen. Nothing's different.
Right.
It's a few bad actors who have done really horrible things, and do we need to tighten up, the power laws?
Listen, if I told you, if I were to redo this one, from scratch, right, I would have a very different approach.
What do you think you should implement if you could start from scratch?
Yeah.
What would be the first thing you would do?
What I would do is it's going to happen. Fraser's already working on, right? So I think on firearms possession without a license. The illegal firearms that we're talking about. They're coming. Anyone caught with it or caught close to it should face jail time. Where are you going to house all these guys there? You don't have the space. So let's start there. Well, so that's not going to work. Well, that's one of the things we need to do. Right?
Okay. So we're talking a 1-year term to start building all these prisons.
No, it's not.
To house these people.
No, but right now they're not. The consequences are not there for them. Right?
How about this? For the JPs that let these guys out on bail repeatedly, how about we hold the JPs accountable? But you can't, because under C-75, you said least onerous restrictions.
Those are being changed. Those will be changed.
Yeah, but how many strikes do we have to give them before we actually do something?
That's going to be changed.
Right? So I know if I leave my house with a firearm, and whether it's restricted or non-restricted, if I don't follow the storage laws and transportation laws, right, I go to jail. Now, will I get released? Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely. I don't have a criminal history. It was an error on my part, but I know the rules and regulations.
How many convictions happen every year for something like this, for not having the paperwork?
That I don't know. I'm going to say very few.
I'll get those numbers for you.
Right? I'm going to say probably very, very few, because we know what we have to do.
Yeah.
And we know the consequences by not following everything from A to Z.
Yeah.
Right? If I walk into my house with a firearm, I grab a shotgun and I'm just going to walk to my house. I don't have it in case. Most likely someone's going to call the police saying, hey, there's a guy walking around the neighborhood with a firearm. They're going to come and investigate, right? And say, hey, there's something, you're legitimate, you're legal, you have your paperwork, you've got your PAL, you're doing everything. But something, because you've created a concern in the community, they can actually charge you for that.
Yeah. Even though you're licensed and everything.
Yeah. But nowhere in storage or transportation laws say I have to have it cased. Right? Now, when I move firearms from my safe, my truck, I bring my truck up here, right? Number one, I don't want people knowing what I have, right? The less people know what I have, no one's going to say, hey, that guy's got guns, go break into your house, right? We have to be smart as firearms owners.
Listen, man, I gotta get going.
All right.
I have to pick up my daughter. Listen, I appreciate you, Sean. I will.
Not looking forward to your announcement on Tuesday.
I know. But cut me some slack, okay?
Well, Southern Gary, hold your feet to the fire. We are.
Yeah, fair enough.
And, right, I mean, well, ultimately on election time, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, we had one 5 minutes ago.
Yep. So,
Take care, man.
all right, drive.
Yeah, cheers.
We should all you can. So,
Take care.
all right, appreciate everything, and we'll talk soon.
follow up.
Thanks, Gary.